Hey bookwormies, have you ever heard of the game 20 Questions? Well, today we're going to be playing a version of it. It is called 19 Questions, and it's a chaotic bookish version. Who is ready, guys? So I got ChatGPT to write me 20 questions, technically. I had to get rid of one because I literally had no answer for it, and we're going to be playing it. I have answers to everything. I answered it all, and we're now going to see. And you guys comment down below your answers to these questions. And if you have any more questions that we think you should add if we ever do a part 2. Okay, guys, let's get started. We have question number 1. You're trapped inside your favorite book, but you can only bring one object from your room. What do you bring, and how does it save or doom you? Okay, I wrote one that is... It's not unhinged exactly, but I'm not going to say which favorite book it is. I had a lot, and I was just thinking, what can I bring? Okay, obviously... things like swords and stuff like that, I could probably get in most of these books, or in a gun or something else. So weapons wasn't really necessary. Armor, probably also have most of them. And I have a lot of favorite books. And let's say I go into Boys of Tom, and how will a sword or armor do anything? Yeah, so that's why I was okay, I'm thinking, if it's even any, what would I do? And I was like, binoculars. For spying. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, well, it depends which book. Is it a fantasy, a romance, a thriller? What do I bring? And I was just like, dude, just bring the binoculars, because let me explain my reasoning. And once I say it, I think you guys will understand me. At least I hope. Let's say, okay, we're going to think of a few books. So obviously, let's say we go to Fourth Wing. Now, Fourth Wing, if I bring binoculars, I can find out a lot. It would be better if I had distance wielding, but frick, I don't. So we're just gonna have to live. Actually, guys, I don't have a good example for why I'd use binoculars for spying. But thing is, I feel like spying just says it all, because who would I want to spy on? Their favorite character? You already know everything about them, but what if there's some dark secret they didn't say in the books? You can find out. So obviously, it'd be nice, and I'd love to spy on some of these characters. I'd love to spy on Kenji. I want to know his morning routine. To a downfall. True or false. And also, I'd love to spy on, the games that Riddick and Outram, I really don't know how to say his dragon's name, their games, their prank wars, I would really like to see those. So, binoculars could help, so I could see it. Now, question number 2. Which villain would you let do your favorite, do your makeup, hair... Okay. Which villain would you let do your makeup, hair, outfit for a first date? You can't refuse the final book. Now, this one, guys, I was debating for a long time. I was like, villain, what can I do? And now I actually have another one, but I don't really think. Okay, let me explain. So first I was like, Aaron Warner. Now let me explain my reasoning, because in the first few books he was literally called the villain and stuff like that. So I feel like it's reasonable. And also, I trust Aaron Warner's fashion like it's nobody else. I see him and I'm like, oh yeah, you can do my makeup look, and I'll probably love it more than anything I can do myself. So, if you count him as a villain, I feel like he'd do great. And I was thinking, now, if you think Lana Myers could count as a villain, in a way, I just thought of that now. I guess, because she's a serial killer, so I feel like she counts. She's kind of a villain. Kind of. If you think about it. So I feel like she'd do it amazingly. I would actually trust her also to do it. So I guess if you guys count these two as villains, yes, I choose them 100%. I know this is kind of random. I'm like, okay, they are villains. Kind of. So, I'm always trying to force my favorite characters into it when they aren't supposed to be there. Anyways, guys, question number 3. A fictional world is casting you as the next mysterious stranger. Which aesthetic are you bringing, and what's your secret? Okay, I had to get some help from ChatGPT because I can't really think of aesthetics, so I told him to just give me a list of all kinds, and I just changed it and made it into something I believe in, because my brain at the time of answering these questions was not working. Okay, so my aesthetic, I was giving velvet cloak, thigh-high boots, because I feel and kind of high heel boots kind of ideas. They're black, and then maybe black lace gloves, and that are supposedly hiding cursed runes, and a perfume that's secretly venom. I want something like that, and maybe I want a tiger vibe, maybe. I don't know how to explain it. I will try to look up on Pinterest what I'm kind of giving, but I'm thinking Lana Myers meets Lena Sardothian. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like that is what it gives. So, there's that. Now, my backstory. I had to think for a second about this one, but okay, so you made a deal 3 years ago. No one can know about. If they ever found out who you made it with or what you're getting in return, they won't call you a hero anymore. Now, I'm kind of going fantasy-esque with some thriller vibes, I guess. So, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Okay. Guys, this is really hard to do. Question number 4. You have to survive the plot of a book, but you're only allowed to have the intelligence of a side character. Which book do you barely make it through? Honestly, Riddick. Like, excuse me. Yes, I feel like Riddick would be such a... Like, he's an amazing side character, and I think I would totally survive as him in Fourth Wing. If I was him, I could survive, because he survived. So, yeah. And he's intelligent, guys. I just have to work on my physical skills, and then I'd be good. And also his intellect is so funny, so I don't even care. Is there any others I can think of on the spot? Because I want to add a few more, because I don't want to have the same series where I'm saying, oh yeah, I choose this character from one of my favorite series, but it's just that same one that I've been talking about the whole time. So I'll think for a second, guys. And can I think of anybody else? I can't think of side characters. That's the thing. And I feel like I'm thinking fantasy, because barely make it through, I feel like that has to be a fantasy book. Romance, it could be cutesy ones, and then it'll just be like, dude, what do you need to survive? An Advil? I don't know. Like, the real world is scary, but a lot of these fluffy romances make it look fluffy. So, there's that. I can't think of anything else, so I'm just gonna continue. Now, this one. Okay, guys, question number 5. This one, I wouldn't say unhinged, but it's just like, bro. And as soon as I say this, guys, you will see my reasoning. Okay. Which love triangle would be instantly resolved if the main character had a therapist? Belly Isabel from The Summer I Turned Pretty. It might be because I'm in the middle of watching season 3 as it's coming out, but I just literally, as soon as I saw love triangle, I was just like, oh, her. Just, yes, that. And also, I can't really think of any other love triangles, but dude, she needs a therapist. They all need. Like, the stuff that happens, I feel like it would just so much be better. And plus, the love triangle would totally be solved. Now, next we have question number 6. Now, for this one, actually, I don't really have an answer. I know. That is fucking crazy, because I couldn't really think of anything, so this is one for you guys. This is a question for you guys, okay? What's the most unhinged sentence you've ever read in a book? The one that made you stop and read, like, you gotta be kidding me. That kind of vibe. And I literally just wrote, viewers give me ideas, because I can't think of anything. I literally was sitting there for, like, probably half an hour just thinking, like, where? I can't think of anything. So I just kind of gave up and just said, if anybody else can think of anything, tell me. Like, I know there are probably a million, but at the top of my head, I couldn't think of anything. I feel like a lot of sentences now that I think about from this one book that actually pretty recently finished, Chasing Red, and and Always Red, I feel like they have a lot of unhinged sentences. Let me quickly check. Guys, I have 48 highlights in Chasing Red. Oh my god, I know which one. Wait a second. I think I remember. Actually, I have a picture of it, because, like, to me it was just a bit funny. It's not unhinged, but it's just funny. I don't know. It's the only one I can think, but what do you think, girl? I got it good, huh? I got it really good. That's what the guy says. And then the girl says, the only thing going good for you is that no one has picked you up for the zoo. Your cage is waiting. You'll be able to showcase yourself among your fellow apes there. And I just went rolling, laughing to death, because, okay, that sentence just didn't make sense. I was just like, what the heck? To me, that was just one of the funniest things ever. I don't really think it's that unhinged. It's just funny. So, but if you guys can think of any other sentences from any other books, comment down below. Now, next we have question number 7. A book character is now your roommate, who's the absolute worst person to live with. Okay, I feel like as soon as I'll say this, you'll be like, dude, of course. Jack fucking Barlow, I know. And Mark Allen. I know, I'm really going in, because I was just like, yeah, I couldn't wait for them to be dead. I think, like, if they became my roommate, I'd kill them off. Like, they wouldn't last an hour in an apartment with me. No. Anybody else that I can think of? I feel like Riddick would probably set some traps, but he'd be so funny that I wouldn't even care. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay, guys. Next we have question number 8. You're allowed to steal one fictional magical object for the rest of your life. What is it, and what do you really use it for? From Fourth Wing, I take a dragon, preferably Terran. They didn't say if it had to be a living object or a still object. So I think I chose one of the best things ever. Or I would take the invisibility cap. The invisibility cap from Annabeth, from the Percy Jackson world. I feel like that would be also really cool. I could also take, obviously, the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter, but, I just went with the cap because I feel like it's just smaller and it's just easier. Like, the cloak, if, like, let's say you leave a part open, I feel like somebody would see you. But the cap, you just put on top of your head, and immediately your joint, like, your body fully is invisible. So I feel like like, one of those two options is one of the best. I feel like the dragon or the invisibility cap, because, okay, dragon to ride and, like, see the world, everything, honestly, and I'd just be there for his sass. And the invisibility cap to spy on people, and, I feel like it'd be fun sometimes. So there's that. And, if there's anytime an awkward situation, I could just put on the invisibility cap and nobody would see me. And also, I'm kind of, like, not antisocial, but I have, like, social anxiety in a kind of way, whereas, like, if I see somebody around, like, where I live in my neighborhood, if I see somebody from my school, I will be hiding in a bush. I don't care if there are spiders in there, or tarantulas, or, okay, those are the same kind of idea, same category. If it's a tarantula in there, or a million mosquitoes, I will go in there. Like, unless it's one of my friends, then yes, I'll go and be like, hi, guys. But if it's not, if it's just a random person from my class or a random person from my grade, I will go hide in the bush. I will just go do that. So, obviously, invisibility cap is better than a million mosquitoes or tarantulas. So, I feel like it's good. Now, time for question number 9. Choose a book that could have been solved in 10 pages if someone just had common sense. We Were Liars. There's a book that I recently rated, like, 1 star. That's why it's kind of just on there. I was just like, okay, I just hated this book. I barely remember anything. I will admit to that. I barely remember anything. But I feel like it probably could have been solved in less than 100 pages. In 10 even. In 5, in 7, or just, don't have the book. I don't know, I just really hated it. Like, it's not any offense to the author. It's just I didn't really enjoy it. It was just not my vibe. Okay, guys? Now we're going into question number 10. We're hitting the double digits. Okay, your new job is to title romance novels using only weird metaphors. What's the title of a fake one you'd write? Love is a sculpture, and so am I. I know, right? And then I'd want David, like the naked David, as the cover. But a sexy version of him. And that's it. So I can pretty much, guys, if you want, I can draw it for you, but I'm not going to do that. But what do you think? Love is a sculpture, and so am I. And so are you. I don't know. I don't know if it's really as much as a metaphor, but I'm just counting it. It was kind of a weird question, so I'll just honestly say I didn't really have a lot of ideas. Okay. Question number 11. Pick a side character that deserves their own 600-page spin-off filled with chaos, betrayal, and trauma. Kenji Kishimoto. He deserves it. I feel like we need to know about his past. I feel like we need it, and there's just so much in there that I feel like we can dig up a hole and still not be deep enough. Let me see if there's anybody else I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm going to go to Fable and look at my books that I've read recently. Maybe I can think of anybody else, a side character. Okay, I already know that Chasing Red and Always Red, there's this one character named Car. That's not, like, K-A-R, but that's, like, her abbreviated name, like, her nickname. And I know she already has a book, but obviously her. Draco Malfoy could be a good option. I feel like he could have a great... I guess he's kind of a side character, yeah. I can't really think of anything else on my head, but those are kind of, like, the main ideas. Next, question number 12. You get 1 free pass to punch a book character. Who and why? Bonus if you have a punchline. I didn't create a punchline, but if anybody wants to, go ahead. I give you my permission. Just kidding, you don't even need the permission. You can just do it. Okay, I chose Varish from Iron Flame. It's pretty self-explanatory. I literally wrote self-explanatory. I'm not going to say why, too, because it is a spoiler. Iron Flame is the second book in the series, and even if it was just in the first, it'd still be a spoiler. Anybody else? Obviously, Mark Allen. Hate his guts. Hate his guts. So, if something happened to it, if I got to punch him, I would be the happiest girl alive. Probably. Paris Anderson from the Shadow Me series. Also, really self-explanatory if you have read the books. Anybody else? I can't think of anything else on my mind, you guys. I just don't have a brain. And I feel like I should just disclaim that. So that's why all of these answers are very, very repetitive. Next we have A cursed author makes you the main character of their next dark academia novel, and you have to like say your backstory kind of idea. So, are you guys ready? So, I was born into a family where every new year one of us would be sacrificed to the gods. I was scheduled to die in 2017, but in what people called sheer luck, I escaped. Well, narrowly. Now it's time to find out what really happened to me and why the gods didn't want me. Because, yeah. Everyone in your family is dead or devoted. Your name is never spoken aloud in your hometown. You came to the university under the guise of studying psychology, but really you're following breadcrumbs, ritual blueprints, buried in forbidden texts, whispers in dead languages. A professor who saw you once and flinched. Because the truth isn't that the gods spared you, it's that they're waiting for something worse. Okay, that's kind of the idea. That took me a while to think of the answer. Like, I was just like, I really want something dark. And I don't know why I was like, every New Year's sacrifice. And then everything else just kind of flowed out of me. I feel like that could actually be a cute, cool book. Like, maybe that second part, and maybe scrap that. But the first part, I don't know why, but I like it. I like the idea. Next, we have question number 14. So, you have to babysit a group of fictional children for 48 hours. Who are they and how does it all go wrong? I pretty much took all the kids from the Windy City series, everyone that we know of currently. I'm not going to say whose child is which and stuff like that. But we have Max, Taylor, Iverson, Navy, and Emmy. And what would all go wrong? One would get scared about something. Some would start drawing on the walls, maybe. I don't know. It's just, I feel like we didn't go super in depth on some of these kids. So I don't know too much, but I feel like some stuff would happen. Okay, next we have question number 15. Which book would work too well as a reality TV show and who gets voted off first? The selection. This is a book I read a long time ago. I think like 3 years ago. Maybe 2. Maybe I'm exaggerating it, but I think 3 years ago. I'm not sure. No, 2. Because I think, yeah. I'm 90% sure I read it when I had this channel. And we're almost at the 2-year mark, so it has to be 2 years ago. And I don't remember anything. I have no idea who would get voted off first, but I'd probably do the selection because it'd be a great reality TV show. Now, what's a plot twist you'd throw into a random romance novel just to cause chaos? This one is kind of unhinged. Kidnapping. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind, and that was the first thing I wrote down. And that's what happened. I know. This brain up here, a lot of mysteries that I don't even know. I don't know how to solve them. Question number 17. You find out a character from a fantasy novel has been catfishing people on Book Talk. Who is it and what kind of content are they faking? Okay, Scott Van Dyke from the Callie Sister series. There isn't a lot of explanation, I feel like, to this, because if you have read at least the first book of Rose and Connor, then you know. Then you just know. And I'm pretty sure he would have done it already in the book at some point. So, yeah. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have question number 18, the pre-last question in this whole challenge. We have a beloved character's only flaw is that they speak entirely in Taylor Swift lyrics. Who still pulls it off? Kenji. I just have to say this, guys. Kenji. I feel like he'd have an amazing singing voice, actually. I don't know. Maybe like a half-assed one. But I just know he will sing from his soul, so it wouldn't even matter. Because he's a Swiftie at heart, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but Kenji is such a Swiftie. It's just so obvious to me. I don't know why. I could imagine him going to Taylor Swift's Eras concert and just being there like, yeah, party, and stuff like that. Like, I could totally see him singing along to everything from Shake It Off to Blank Space to everything. Could totally see that. And I would so join in with him. Like, I feel like one of the main reasons I'd go to the concert was to just see him. I feel like he'd be such a character. And now, final question, guys, of today. Which book is literary equivalent of texting your crush? Something deeply embarrassing, but you have read it anyway. The Summer I Turned Pretty. I haven't reread it ever. I guess you could say watching it after reading it could count as reread. Not really, though. But The Summer I Turned Pretty. It is literally that. I feel like that is literally the plot. It's not The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's the summer I accidentally texted my crush something very embarrassing and didn't get a boyfriend out of it. Or maybe, I think Keeper of the Lost Cities. It is middle grade, so it's a bit more childish, but I just feel like it would just make sense in my head. I don't know why. It's not a very popular series, but if you guys have read it, I feel like you guys can maybe see it. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This one was, I feel like a bit different from my usual, because usually I'm like splurging, talking about all kinds of random stuff, and here I had structured questions. And also usually I just look at stuff and like I kind of usually answer questions and answer all kinds of prompts and stuff like that on the spot, but this time I had some prepared on purpose because I read through the questions and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to think of anything. Half of this video is just going to be me thinking. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!